An animal charity is calling for dog owners to sign a responsibility pledge promoting stronger safety around others. Back in March, Andrew Stanley from Derby spoke to ITV News Central after his pet dog was mauled to death by a greyhound in front of his 2-year-old daughter. The Blue Cross charity says stronger safety around dogs in public needs to be addressed. Research shows more than 45% of parents are worried about visiting their local park because of unruly and out-of-control dogs.
We're asking them to pledge the following things. We want them to pick up after their dogs so they're nice and clean and tidy, not to let their dogs be a bother to anyone, but to be a pleasure to be around, to call their dogs back to have their dogs come back when they call them, to make sure their dog's not out of control, and always knowing where their dogs are when they're on and off lead within the park.
Birmingham's main blood donation centre has been officially reopened today after a refurbishment to make it more comfortable for donors.
TV personality and regular donor Alison Hammond was there to try and encourage more donors, especially from Black and Asian communities. 1 in 4 of us will need a transfusion at some point in our lives, but only 1 in 25 actually regularly donates.
Well, our reporter Lucy Taylor has been to find out what happens after a donation is made. Look away just to let you know if you're slightly squeamish.
It's such an essential resource we take it for granted. When you need a transfusion, the blood will be there. But keeping our hospitals well stocked is a round-the-clock process that only begins with the UK's hundreds of thousands of donors. Once the blood is taken, it's delivered to a processing plant like this one. Staff here work 24 hours a day, including Christmas, because time is crucial. This life-saving production line breaks down the blood into its many different parts, meaning each donation of just under a pint can save 3 lives.
We split the whole blood, into red cells, plasma that's going to be frozen for different products, and also we make platelets out of them as well.
After it's filtered of the elements they don't need, the blood begins to be separated out. This machine is a centrifuge, effectively a spin dryer. The force of the 15-minute spin cycle will push the 2 different elements of the blood apart. And so the final product is ready to be delivered to local hospitals less than 48 hours after it was donated. Different elements of the blood can last anything from 7 days to 2 years, but most supplies will run out much quicker than that, which is why the constant call for donors goes on.
It's imperative that we have adequate stocks so that the many medical establishments around the country can actually have the blood components that they need.
This plant processes 700 pints of blood a day, but it still isn't always enough. A quarter of us will need it at some time in our lives. Lucy Taylor, ITV News.
Now let's turn our attention to sport, and in case you hadn't noticed, the biggest event in football starts here on ITV tonight. It's exciting, the tension.
It is exciting, isn't it? That's all we've been talking about today.
A great 5 weeks in prospect. Steve Clapper's here to tell us more.
Absolutely.
Just how excited are you?
Well, yeah, as you can imagine, I'm sort of buzzing. I've had the boxing, now I'm on to the football, and it's just been one exciting summer for me. I think most people would agree, might start a bit of an argument here, but that 3 Lions, which featured West Brom fan Frank Skinner, was the most memorable England song to date. But that wasn't the official England song from Euro 96, and now another unofficial England song is gaining quite a following. Former Villa and Coventry star Dion Dublin is involved, as is a certain Take That member from Stoke. Take a catchy tune, add some fresh, patriotic lyrics, then get stars of stage, screen and sport to join in with the fun, and you've pretty much got the new single, The Winner in You. It comes from Midlands band The Establishment, who are managed by ex-England, Coventry and Villa star Dion Dublin. Oh, and he plays sax too, and even turns up with his own musical invention, the tube. How pleased are you with the way it's turned out?
The lyrics that they put into the song are very sort of anthemic, and the fans can get involved, and that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to create a song that the fans can be involved in.
kind of tweaked the bass line a little bit, added some percussion, a little bit more guitar, some piano, and just kind of, but kept it as quite close to the original as we could.
We feel we've done something that is just that little bit different, and feel-good song, and I don't think it's been a while since there's been a good feel-good World Cup song.
And of course it does help when your manager has friends in the right places. Of the stars cropping up, none come bigger than the man who introduces the song. So how did Stoke's most famous export end up getting involved?
Come on England, this is winner in you.
I met Robbie, I don't know how long ago, 4 years, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, in LA. I was doing a Jew music show. So I went over to, he invited us over, myself and my business partner Scotty, and went over to his house, had a few hours over there, and 2 years later, 3 years later, I'm asking him a favour, and he said, yeah, no problem at all.
Of course, for the song to have any chance of gaining mass appeal, the England football team will have to do well. Otherwise, it'll be forgotten as fast as yesterday's back pages.
Let's go and play the English way, and have them worry about the way that we're playing rather than us fearing the opposition. So if we do that, I think we'll have a great chance. Let the kids loose. That's what I would say. Let them loose. Go and do what you do.
There are plenty of England songs vying to capture the nation's imagination. This has all the right ingredients, but it'll now be down to the England team to determine whether it becomes a hit or just a disappointing miss. It's not bad, that, is it? Not all England songs are always brilliant. We really enjoy that. We've been singing along today. We heard snippets of the song, of course, there. If you want to see the video in full, featuring guest stars Robbie Williams, Ian Wright and Colin Salmon, among others, then go to itv.com/central and follow the links. Now, a 15-year-old from Birmingham causing a bit of a stir at the moment after a video of him freestyle footballing around landmarks in the city started getting lots of hits online. Patrick Edwards, who goes by the name of Brumzillion, has just come second in the UK's National Freestyle Football Championships. He popped into the ITV Central Garden earlier this afternoon to show me how it's done. That's pretty impressive. We've seen the video as well. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for about 5 years now. Started when I was 11 after kind of getting into the skill side of football with Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and then that slowly evolving into me taking more of an interest into freestyle and practicing that after football practices, and slowly getting into it more and more until...
It's really impressive. The video we've seen as well, we really enjoyed your video. What made you come about doing that?
I'm teamed with Danny, who is the head of Global Freestyle, which is a freestyle team I'm involved in.
Would you ever want to be an actual footballer, 11-a-side, traditional?
Personally, I quit football about 4 years ago. I still play it casually with friends on Sundays, like 5-a-side. But 11-a-side isn't the idea of it being a job for me is kind of wavered quite a while ago now. Freestyle is what I'm into.
Well, let's hope we see some decent skills in the World Cup. I've just briefly got to find out, A, how do you think England will do, and B, who do you think is going to win?
As much as I'd like to believe otherwise, England are not going to do well at all. And I really would like to see Brazil win for obvious reasons.
Brilliant. OK, well, that's great. Good luck to you. Let's see a few more of your skills. England aren't going to win. What does he know? Doesn't even know how to kick a ball. Well, over in Brazil, ITV's team is poised to take us through the big event, starting with the opening ceremony tonight. Our first match is from 7 o'clock. As the team prepares, our pundit, former England star Ian Wright, who we saw in that music video a short time ago, tells us who he thinks will claim football's biggest prize.
I'm not sure with Brazil. If they start, then you have to say that if they start well, then you have to say that you can't really write them off. But I've said right from the start, I quite like the look of Argentina with their offensive qualities. I quite like the look of Argentina.
Well, there are more pictures of yours on how you're celebrating the World Cup on our website, including the father of two who's brought the World Cup to his front room, complete with AstroTurf, carpet and World Cups, either side of the TV. Head to itv.com central to hear from him. And I'm sure you will. Just before I go, brief mention and well done for Worcestershire cricketer Moeen Ali. He made his England Test debut today, and he didn't show too many nerves either, hitting 6 fours and 1 6, but frustratingly fell just short of his half-century on 48. But I tell you, that's not a bad debut in a big game, so well done to him. Well done to Worcestershire, providing such a decent cricketer. But it's all World Cup from now on. I won't be talking about anything else.
For the next 5 weeks.
Until England come home.
With the trophy.
Don't follow that anymore. Yes, exactly, yes.
But
be positive.
We do have to ask you, who do you think is going to win?
I think the final will be Brazil.
Yes.
And another team. Possibly Argentina, possibly England.
On that note, let's go to the weather with Lucy Coate.
What's in store for today? ITV Local Weather, sponsored by CenterParcs.
Hello. Well, sometimes cloud just looks beautiful, doesn't it? Look at this view of the sky from this bridge in Burton-upon-Trent. Thank you to Steve Stain for tonight's picture. So a bit more in the way of clouds bubbling up as we head through the next 24 hours. At the moment, high pressure is in charge, keeping things nice and settled, but you can see it shifting slightly. This will allow the cloud to build on a weather front from the north, and a few spots of rain possible as well as we head through the next 24 hours. Dry overnight tonight, though, with patchy clouds. Still feeling quite muggy with lows of 12 or 13 degrees Celsius. A gorgeous start to the day, dry, plenty of sunshine through the morning, but that cloud bubbling up all the time from the northwest. So quite cloudy skies by the time we get to the afternoon, with 1 or 2 breaks, and temperatures rising 22 or 23 degrees Celsius tomorrow afternoon. If anything, feeling warmer than today, and that could well trigger some heavy downpours. That risk continues into tomorrow evening as well. So then, as for Saturday, well, it's a case of sunny spells, quite a lot of cloud around and some outbreaks of rain. The chance of a few showers on Sunday for Father's Day, but it's not looking bad. Here's your pollen.
ITV Local Weather, sponsored by CenterParcs.
The Pollen Count, sponsored by Checkatrade.com.
Checkatrade.com.
Well, the sunshine and high temperatures mean that pollen levels are rocketing at the moment. Look at this, very high levels as we move through tomorrow and the weekend too. Have a lovely evening.
Just time for a reminder of tonight's top stories here on ITV News Central. There are fears of an outbreak of salmonella in Birmingham after 23 people contracted the bug. 19 patients and 4 members of staff at Heartlands Hospital have tested positive. It's not clear yet if the bug started in hospital or if it's been brought in from outside.
The parents of 22-month-old Levi Blue Cassin have been charged with murder more than a year after his death. His body was found by paramedics at a house in Castle Bromwich in February 2013.
And there's misery for Midlands holidaymakers as the Passport Office works through a backlog of 30,000 applications. The Home Secretary says urgent cases will be fast-tracked.
And that's almost it from us for this evening. Lots more updates on our website, itv.com/central. The late bulletin is very late, and that's because of World Cup.
It is, but it's fine though. I'm okay with it. It's about 10 to midnight. I'll be there. I hope you will be as well. Enjoy the football here on ITV. Until later on, goodbye from the team.
And good luck, England. Bye-bye.